I have Miss Rylie here, and we are going to work on a little basic obedience. Hi, Rylie. Come here, baby. She's very young and good girl. Still kind of protests being on leash a little bit. It's a little awkward for her. Rylie. Hi, baby. So you got to make it a little fun. That's right. Good girl. Rylie. Good girl. Touch. Yay, good girl. Now, touch is one of my favorite commands, and it's a very simple command to teach. Basically means hit the palm of my hand or my fingers with your nose. So what I would do is, I have treats in one hand, and they're soft, small treats, and I'm going to present my empty hand very close to her face. Hopefully she will hit it. If she doesn't hit it the first few times, I'll actually just mark her. So you hear me say the word yes, and give her her reward for just acknowledging my hand. So again, very close to her face, but I actually want her to reach out to my hand. Rise. Yes, good girl. Yes, good girl. Present to you. Yes, good girl. So she's pretty comfortable reaching out for my hand, so I'm going to say touch. Yes, good girl. Once they get that under that concept down a little bit, Rylie, touch. Yes, good girl. Oops, you can turn it into a fun game. Here you go, baby. And move it. Rylie, touch. Yes, good girl. Again, I'm not moving my hand to her. Touch. Yes, good girl. As they get it, touch. Yes, good girl. They'll actually move towards your hand. One, it's a fun way to reward your dog. I find dogs just love this game. Touch. Yes, good girl. Right. Touch. Yes, good girl. But also, Rylie, you need to move right away. Touch. Yes, good girl. Or, if she doesn't want to come away from a group of dogs and she's ignoring you when you call her to come, and she thinks this is a fabulous game, you can go, Rylie, touch, and move your hand and she'll come right in for her playtime. Yay, good girl. You're so smart. So we're going to practice that a little bit, because that's a fun one. Then we're going to do, Rylie, sit. Yes, good girl. Yes. Now she's pretty smart. She's up. Sit. Yes. Good girl. Up. Sit. Good girl. Yes. Good. Break. Girl. She gets concepts down pretty quickly, but we've really only been working on sit with a slight pause for a stay for about a day and a half now. Sit. She doesn't do it within a second or two. Lure her. Yes. And give her the reward. Good girl. Rylie, watch. Yes. Good. Yes. Now, the reason why I'm marking her, yes. You're such a genius. Rise. Good girl. Really? Rylie. Break. The reason why I was marking her is she was maintaining a sit stay automatically. Who is the good girl? Come here, Rylie. Touch. Yes, good girl. Oh, your hands, sweetheart. Oh, yums. Good girl. So sit. If she doesn't immediately do it, treat to her nose and lure her into position. Yes, give her the treat. You can do that for the first week or two. Good girl. Yes, you're such a genius. Good girl. Rylie, stay. Good girl. Yes. Excellent. Break. Now, your dog can't be expected to stay for any length of time if you never teach them that there's a word that means you're free to go about your business. Rylie, sit. Up. Yes, good girl. Who's a good smart puppy? So she's got that pretty down pretty well. Rylie, settle. Yes, good girl. Good girl. Settle. Yes. break. Good girl. Touch. Yes, good job. Good. Now, she's a very easy puppy to lure. Sit. Yes. Good girl. Come over here a little bit. Come over here a little bit. You're going to be a very good girl. Okay. I'm going to twist you around. So I'm using settle instead of down because a lot of people, when they say down, sometimes they want the dog to remove their feet from a human, and other times they want the dog to go into a down position. So I'm using the word saddle. Good. And she already goes in for the lure just fine. So since she has no problem following the lure, I'm going to add the word, pause a split second, and then lure her into the down. Who's the smart puppy? A little distraction? A little distraction? Can you handle it? Yes. Good girl, this is a small piece. Good. Yes. Who's a good girl? Yes. Good. Break. And now remember, she's about an 8-week-old puppy. Right. Touch. Rylie. Touch. Yes, good girl. Oh, she's so good. Notice how I gave her a few seconds to figure it out? Who is so smart? And because she did such a good girl, yay! Good job. I'm gonna run around a little bit. And good, make it fun. She got a few treats that time because it was such a hard exercise. So, come here, Rice. Good girl, ready? So she's luring very easily, so I'm going to give her the saddle. Split second, and then down. Good girl. Saddle. Yeah, good girl. That's so cute. Rice. Let's see. Oh, good girl. Come here. Yes. Good girl. Yes. Oh, good girl. That's okay. We're working on take a bow, which is just a little movement. Right here, baby. Oh, man. Look at it. Good girl. So it's to her nose, in towards her chest a little bit. Good girl. That's right. Except instead of feeding it while she's bending at the elbows, we, yes, do a slight movement downward. So it's to her nose, in towards her chest. Oops. She should have both feet down. Yes, good girl. And then we feed her when she's standing up so that she doesn't think it's the down cue. Right. Ready? Take a bow. Yes, good girl. Rylie, take a bow. Yes, and she should know how to do this because, I mean, she is pretty fabulous, so she's going to have to do it quite a bit in her life. Touch. Rylie. Touch. And I think we were just asking a little too much of her at the moment. Come here, Rylie. Touch. Yes, good girl. Can we get her attention back? Sit. Rylie, sit. And yes, good girl. And remember, she's only been doing this for a couple of days and she's about 8 weeks old. Rylie, down. Oh. And I gave her the wrong cue. Saddle. So to her nose and down. And just a little away from her. Good girl. Yay. Oh, wait, the baby. Yes. Good girl. She got up, that's okay. I'm just going to lure her back into position. I marked her staying, so I want to make sure she gets that food reward. Okay. Settle. Good. Oh. Settle. Good. Oh, she's so used to getting the food reward. I might just have to give her a settle. Good. Yes.